share something with you guys today that's going to be it's going to be brilliant for your confidence and getting over your social anxiety. And I've realized this recently from coaching a lot of people, and also from working on my fears myself and continuing to improve. Now, you know, before on YouTube, and I've done this a lot, and there is value in it. You know, like when you're really nervous, I've said to you guys before, like, just practice saying hello to people, or just go into the supermarket when you're buying food and just say hello. Now, don't get me wrong, that is helpful for a guy who is really nervous and anxious and is really scared to talk to people and finds it hard to keep a conversation going. But what I've realized, it's not a long-term strategy, it's not the best thing, and I'll explain why. I found having longer conversations, it just takes you to another level, because the problem is, right, even though it's better than nothing, if you're really nervous with talking to people, whether it's family, friends, whatever situation it's in, job interviews, on an event, or in public, wherever it may be, if you're nervous and you just say hi and then you walk away, you're not really handling the problem. So it would be the equivalent, right, to someone being scared of public speaking or scared to speak in front of the camera like I'm doing now. It would be equivalent to coming on camera and saying hi and then walking away. Now, don't get me wrong, that's better than nothing, but it's not enough, is it? So realistically, if you want to get better at public speaking or speaking to people, you need to stay there longer, and you need to have a longer conversation. And I know, even from not just the clients that I've coached, when I look back at my life and where I started and how I made progress in the area of talking to people, the actual progress was made from me having longer conversations. Now, of course, it's harder to have longer conversations. Why? Because you've got to face more of those anxieties, those emotions, and there's always a risk, obviously, of getting nervous and feeling embarrassed or awkward or freezing up or not being able to maintain eye contact or stuttering or just feeling uncomfortable, of course. But if you don't work through those feelings, you're not going to become, you're not going to become confident and more relaxed around people. So don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that there is no value, and it won't help you a bit for someone who just is paralyzed with fear, because of course that would be helpful to start with, but it should just be like, it's a little bit of a crutch just to get you started. If this makes sense, when we're younger, when I was young, most kids, I couldn't swim in the deep end, right? So we had to put some armbands on so that we would float and I wouldn't drown. But that's okay for temporarily, but you can't stay there, obviously. So eventually you've got to lose the armbands, you've got to learn to swim in the deep end. And socializing is exactly the same, like I said. So again, I want to explain it really, make it really simple, you probably get it. So if I was coaching someone and helping them to overcome their fear of speaking in front of a camera and doing YouTube videos, if they were really nervous and they were stuttering and they just couldn't hold a conversation in front of the camera, yeah, I would get them first just to practice saying, hello, nice to meet you, right? And then when they could say a little bit more, I'd get them to say, hi, welcome to my channel, my name is, I do this, or I like that. And I'll just keep coaching them until eventually they could speak for half an hour. Does that make sense? So yeah, by all means, it is good to say hello to people, like, hello, how's your day? Nice to meet you, have a good day. That is good, that's a good starting point, but it isn't enough to combat social anxiety and to get to a point where you can make friends, you can go out, you can build relationships, you can be confident in all situations. So I really wanted to share that today, because I thought about this months ago, and I think I forgot, right? I got busy, life, teaching, work, everything else. So now I've remembered, I really wanted to share it with as many people. So anybody, share this video with anybody, guys, girls, whoever's listening, anyone that has anxiety that could do with watching this video, and explain to them that if they want to improve it, they really want to try and hang in there longer when they're talking to people. And let me explain something else. So what a lot of people do is, and I used to do it all the time when I was starting out, if they're in a conversation with someone and it's going okay and they feel okay, the moment they start feeling awkward, they tend to leave the conversation prematurely. Like they walk out, or they might just close down and become very quiet. And you don't want to do that, right? I know that sometimes you can't help it because the fear and anxiety is overwhelming and it's quite strong, but you really want to remind yourself to stay in longer, express yourself more, and talk as much as you can. And when the fear comes and your instincts say run, get out, you really need to ground yourself and stay. And I'm trying to show the exercise now when I'm doing this video. So let's say, for example, just naturally, it is cold today, And I've been doing these videos, I do enjoy them, but there is a part of me that wants to just end this video now and pack the camera up and go down and be warm in my flat, have some food. But I discipline myself to stay a bit longer. And that's the same teaching, that's the same principle. Whatever situation you're in, whether it's at work, it's at a job interview, it's on a date with your family, with friends, with your partner, or with new people, or at an event, or if you're making a video or doing a presentation, when you feel the fear make you want to leave the conversation a bit earlier, stay in longer. And what you're actually teaching yourself to do is you're teaching yourself to manage fear. And you're teaching yourself how to be confident and how to be calm and relaxed whilst under these feelings or in this situation or under this circumstance. And that's how you get better and better. And you'll see, it won't happen straight away, but later on, a few weeks, months down the line, you'll notice, or you won't even realize it until you actually really realize it. You'll be more confident in a situation which you wouldn't have been before. And that's what I started to notice about myself. And I notice that from time to time. And that always makes, in my personal life, me happy, because I'm making progress, and we can always keep improving our social skills, our confidence, and how relaxed we are. And I love it when I see my clients improving. I see it all the time. I see how a lot of the clients, when I first work with them and meet them, not all of them, but a lot of them were just like myself when I started out. They're kind of quiet, they're a bit nervous, they're quite shy, they're not as open. But over the weeks with the coaching and the practice and meeting up and going over goals and taking them out and having a coffee and exposing them to public more and speaking to people, they become more confident, better eye contact, they speak clearer, they're more relaxed, they're smiling more. So the improvement, the bigger improvement comes from the longer conversations, staying in situations longer, as opposed to just saying hi and exit. I know sometimes you don't always have time. Like, for example, you know, you're going into your gym, your local gym, if you're a member of a gym, and you scan your card and they say hi and you say hi, and sometimes that's it. I do that. But there are times where you've got time to have a longer conversation, and obviously you have to have some social skills as well and be aware as to when someone wants to talk with you longer, and sometimes people don't have time, they want to leave, but most people, you can read that in people's facial expressions and you get a sense of the atmosphere. So with all those things understood, I wish you guys all the luck with this, because it really is a life-changing practice. But like I say in all the videos, it's not going to be comfortable. You're going to have to work at it. It is going to be daunting and scary, but like all fears, the more you face them, the more confidence you gain, the better you feel, and then eventually the fear turns to excitement. And that's another tip I'm going to do for another video, which is about turning, you know, that social fear into excitement, and that comes as a result of a lot of practice, changing your state, getting more relaxed around people and so forth, all right? So I'll speak to you guys soon. I hope you enjoyed the video. Fearless.